Hi, welcome to Dishing with Joe, and today we're cooking up some spicy butter shrimp with creamy polenta. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with an onion, a shallot. I already diced up some garlic, and we have a little bit of fresh basil that's going to be with the shrimp. And then polenta. Polenta is a corn grain that you can purchase anywhere. You can get like at Trader Joe's. It comes in a bag. So this is what we're going to be using, and it's a great dish. It's great for the family, great for if you're by yourself and you want something quick to make. It doesn't take very long. All we're doing is boiling some water, adding the polenta in the water, and then we're going to be sauteing the onion and the shallot, and then of course the garlic and the basil is going to be added at the end, and then the shrimp. And there you go. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with the onion. We're just going to go ahead and cut it. I think all I need is half an onion, really. I don't need the whole onion. If you want more onion in your dish, you can do so, but I'm going to do it with half an onion. So we're just going to peel it real quick here, and then I'm going to slice it so that we have half rings of onion. Okay, so, and we're going to slice it up a little thin. Okay, so we're not making onion rings, we're making, sauteed onions, and it's going to be thin. Okay, so there we go. Alright, almost done. Alright, and then a shallot, you can use a medium shallot or 2 small shallots. Shallots really cook off really quick, so they're almost like garlic, and but they give it a different flavor. You peel it just like an onion. There you go. Let's get that off. And what we're going to do is we're going to dice it. So I'm not cutting all the way to the end because it's just easier to cut shallots like that. But we're going to score it here all the way through until you get almost to the end. So it looks like a little flower. So there you go. And then we're going to just cut it. And it's that easy. But shallots are kind of strong. They're stronger than onions. They will make you cry. I mean, I can start feeling it right now. So, alright, so all we're doing is just dicing it up. Alright, all done. So we have this. We're going to go ahead and go to the pan and saute these. So all we have here is a quart pot, and I already placed 3 cups of water to 1 cup of polenta. So that's all we really need. And you want to bring it to a boil, and you want to whisk it in. So we're going to whisk this in a little bit slowly. Okay, and a little at a time. There we go. And that water is nice and boiling hot. And it really doesn't take that long. So the polenta kind of expands, and it will become kind of like grits, and that's the consistency of what you want. So see how it's starting to expand, and if you've never had grits before, it's almost the same, but grits is a little bit more like hominy, which is a corn product also. So, but there we go. Alright, so it's already ready. Let's go ahead and turn that off, and what we're going to do is we're going to be adding some heavy whipping cream to make it creamy. Okay, so there you go. Now it's gotten pretty thick, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some heavy whipping cream. We're going to make it creamy, and we're going to mix it in. There we go, and add some more. And this is half a pint of heavy whipping cream. So we're going to make this really creamy. but you add it in a bit at a time. This is looking just right. There we go. And add the rest of it in. Okay, now finish whisking. Alright. Now what we're going to add is some Parmesan cheese. So you can get a packet of Parmesan cheese already grated, or you can grate your own Parmesan cheese. So we're going to just sprinkle that in there, like so, and whisk it in. Now this is a very quick dish. Doesn't take that long. We're going to add some more Parmesan. There we go. And just a little bit more. And I think that's it. That's all we need. Alright, so I would say that was maybe a quarter of a cup. You can even go up to half a cup or to your taste. But there we go. That's good. We're going to add some salt and pepper to this. Add some salt because grits are not flavored. So we're adding that salt there, whisking that in, and then some pepper. Not too much. So whisk that in. Alright, there we go. That's what we want right there. Let me give it a quick taste. Always remember to taste your food. Alright. Yeah. So it needs a little bit more salt. Alright, so one more taste. Here we go. Yes, that's polenta. Okay, so I've been preheating my pan, and we're going to add some olive oil, and that's probably about 2 tablespoons maybe of olive oil, and we're going to be adding the onion and garlic in here. So here we go, onion. So this is the onion and the shallot. We're going to move that around. And we're going to cook these until they get translucent. We're going to go ahead and add the garlic. So I'm using probably about 4 cloves of garlic, maybe 5. They're kind of small. Let's go ahead and mix that in. You can smell the onion, the garlic, smelling good. I'm going to lower the temperature on this to half, so on a medium flame if you have gas. If you have electric stove, you're going to put it to medium. Give that a quick stir here. It's looking good. Alright. So with onion and garlic and the shallots, you don't want to leave them. You want to keep stirring them, because if your flame is too hot or your pan is too hot, it's going to burn. We don't want them to burn. We want them to turn brown or translucent. Either or is good. All right. So that's looking good. We are going to add our shrimp. So what I have here is already deveined and peeled. If you want to get fresh shrimp, you can peel them, devein them yourself. I went ahead and got a prepackaged one. It's already done. You can get whichever you like. We're going to put these in the pan. There you go. Give them a toss. Now, if you're getting frozen shrimp, you want to make sure that they're defrosted. You can run it under tap water. And just make sure that the water is not hot. So if they're frozen and you're putting hot water to defrost them, you're going to cook them. So they're going to turn pink just like this. We don't want to pre-cook them. We want them to cook in the pan, not underwater. The pan got a little cold because the shrimp were cool. So we're going to bring up the temperature a little bit. So if you weren't filming a show, you would have your pan already hot and it would sear the shrimp, and that's what you want, is a nice sear on them. You want them to turn pink. You don't want to overcook them. Shrimp is something that you do not want to overcook because they start to be more like rubber than shrimp. You're going to be chewing on a tough piece of shrimp because it's overcooked. So shrimp doesn't take that long to cook. It's one of those proteins that just is really quick to make, actually. Okay, so we're turning these over because one side's cooked, the other one's not. So we're going to let those sit. Now, as they're sitting and they're finishing to cook, we're going to add a stick of butter. So yes, we're going to add 1 stick of butter because that's going to give you a little bit of sauce, but it's a butter sauce. So that's what we're going to be doing. So you can use salted butter, unsalted butter, fancy butter if you want to cook with. But this is a budgeted meal, so we're going to do that. So we're going to let the butter melt. Let's go ahead and cut it up here. You can pre-cut it also if you want. It just makes it quicker. But we're adding the whole stick of butter. There we go. Let's mix that around. So here we have fresh basil. You can buy this at any grocery store. Sometimes it comes with a little bit of imperfections, so let's just tear that off. But we're just going to give it a quick chop. Thin slices is what we want. Finish that. So the butter has melted, and the shrimp is pretty much done. So we're going to season them up. I have some paprika here, so we're going to sprinkle in the paprika. Give it a good dose of it. I would say maybe about a teaspoon of paprika. There you go. And then we're going to do some chili powder. So again, depending on how hot you want it, we're going to do a teaspoon of chili powder. There you go. And I have some oregano here, and we're going to go ahead and sprinkle that in. With the oregano, you're just going to sprinkle it in, kind of like when you're doing salt and pepper, that kind of thing. We don't want it too strong. There we go. Let's mix that in. Let's lower the flame again. We're going to lower it to a number 4 because the shrimp is already done. We're just mixing this up in the butter. Give that butter some good flavor here. Come on, turn over. There we go. And we're going to add some salt and pepper. So a little bit of some pepper. Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and toss that around so it gets nice and mixed into the butter. there we go. Now let's taste that butter sauce, and we're going to turn that off because it's already done. So we're going to taste that butter sauce there. Another pinch there, and probably a little bit more pepper. So again, what you're doing is you're tasting your food before you serve it. Now the chili powder that I put in is not too much, it's not overpowering, it's not really spicy, but you can make this spicy if you like. So you can add different kinds of chilies, or you can even cut a serrano or a jalapeno, and it's going to come out perfect. So let's go ahead and taste that one more time. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Alright, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and turn this off. And you have your shrimp in that spicy butter sauce. 3, 2. So now that the shrimp is done, we're going to go ahead and sprinkle in that basil. The basil doesn't take that long to cook. In fact, you can eat it raw if you like. But all it's doing is giving that a little bit of flavor, a little bit of color into that butter sauce. All done. Let's dish this up. Spoon in that polenta. It's nice and creamy and cheesy. There we go. See that cheese? All right. And one more spoonful. There we go. This is a nice hearty dish, even though you are having it with shrimp, but it's the polenta that makes it hearty. Now we're going to get some shrimp here. I'm going to top that off right there. All right. Alright, so that's how you make spicy butter shrimp with creamy polenta. Thank you for joining me on Dishing with Joe. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment below, and again, we'll see you next time.